I'm up on another hill with John and Graham, and this is the second take of this clip because I completely mucked the first one up, so I'm not going to say much. Well, except for the name of the hill, it's a local name actually. It doesn't appear on the map. Glanfeinion Hill, named after a farm in the valley, so presumably it's their land that the summit is on. So, and we're up here, guys, to...
Well, I think we're up here to determine whether the summit is a new Dewey or not. And where you mucked it up last time was defining the Dewey. I'll see if I can do better. It's a hill in England, Wales, and as you rightly pointed out, the Isle of Man. Between 500 metres and 609.6 metres with at least 30 metres of drop on all sides. Is that about right?
I think so. Well, of course, I tried to define it before, and instead of saying 2,000 foot, I said 200 foot. So now, I believe, we have with us actually, Graham, the person that, although he isn't the custodian of the Dewey list, obviously that is the author, Michael Dewey, but it's John that you keep very accurate updates per year of the Deweys, don't you?
Do it about every quarter. It's just all the surveys that you data. Forward it to myself to agree it or not. Which he does agree it, yeah.
And then that's published each year in the Hill Walkers Register, part of the Strider booklet?
Yeah.
Via Alan Castle.
Alan Castle keeps a copy and Michael keeps a copy of the latest list, yeah.
And of course, what's interesting with this hill, over the last few years, one or two Deweys have been demoted.
About 3 or 4 Deweys.
Yeah. Some have been reclassified as Nuttall-stroke Hewitts,
yep.
And there have been about 3 deletions, purely the deletions on relative height and the reclassifications on absolute height.
Yeah, that was Dom and the Great Yarl side, that was Clayswin and Axe Edge.
And of course the 2 reclassifications, and Birksfell. Yeah, so there hasn't been a new Dewey found for quite a number of years.
No, we have tried hard. I mean, it's not that we're trying to reduce the list to 0 or anything. We've tried hard to find new Deweys, but as yet we haven't achieved it.
And of course
we scanned quite a lot of for absolute height, peaks from 497 to 499 metres. We've not found anything in Wales yet. That makes the 500 metre mark.
So we're carrying on searching. Now we're at the Bwlch. And this is the hill range that we're actually on is Pegwn Mawr, and of course Pegwn Mawr these days has quite a large wind farm on top.
103 turbines,
31
megawatts, so we're told.
And one of the very first in Wales to be constructed, I believe.
18 years ago, 1992 it was built.
And for the viewers, if anybody ever sees this clip, the actual summit of the hill is just to the right, behind John's right shoulder as you look at the screen. And we've already been up there, haven't we, to take readings.
We've taken some GPS data there, which are processed to get the height. So we're now down in the coal.
Down in the coal. Now, just beyond John and Graham and the Leica 530 machine that you can see between them, you've actually got the access road, haven't you, for the wind turbines?
That's right, linking the 2 main parts of the side.
And as with most coals, to work out exactly where the true proper coal is, you place down a flag or a grid system, don't you?
You said you've got to lay down a grid. I said I didn't want to, but you insisted.
Well, I'll plead innocence because I'm only the consultant.
No, you told us what to do. Watch, I'll tell you the time.
Well, where the equipment is placed, there was one reading that if you were to take man-made objects, the actual height of the Bwlch would be, and the placement where the equipment is over the Bwlch, where we placed it now, it would probably be about 10 metres away, wouldn't it? It was it about 7 centimetres difference, but it was on part of the ground that had been built up for the access track.
Yeah, that's right. You can't quite see, can you, with the camera at this angle? But the road has been built up very slightly through the coal, basically just to make it level. and that has made it rise by about 5 to 10 centimetres above what would have been, we believe, the line of the col originally. So where we've placed the GPS is where the original col height should be, i.e. it's about 5 to 10 centimetres lower than the line of the road.
And we also placed a grid on the summit, didn't we? Because there were 2 or 3 or 4 options for the summit?
Yeah, the summit was very sort of humpy and bumpy, so we laid out a line of flags there, and that was very useful to determine roughly the highest point there.
And of course, John, you looked through the optics, didn't you, to another hill just to the north?
Yes, there were 1 or 2 points around in the distance that visually might have been contenders, but when you look through the machine, they're not. We were definitely on the highest area.
And the amount of data, time-wise, that you collected on the summit?
About 40 minutes of GPS data, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
It took us about an hour to find the summit point by the time we flagged it out and measured level and stuff to indicate what we were happy just the summit point.
And will it be about the same time at the col, at the bulk?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope it's not going to be much longer because I'm holding the camera with 2 hands and my fingers are exposed to the breeze that's blown over.
This is not a wind farm for nothing. Perhaps you should also point out that it's below freezing at the moment, and on the summit there was a breeze of 15-20 miles an hour, so it's pretty cold.
Well,
we were sheltered down here, so it's a little bit warmer.
Okay,
but there's some snow clouds coming in, as you can see in the background.
yeah,
We're going to try and snow in not so long.
I just noticed from the corner of my eye there are actually 1 or 2 little flakes coming down just in the breeze. But the wind chill factor on the summit, what would you guess that would be? It was
I suspect it was down about -5, something like that.
It was quite blowy in
-5,
places.
-10, that sort of ballpark.
It
It's below freezing anyway in the first place. So.
Yeah, the actual temperature was below 0, and it felt very cold.
Yeah. Now, what I'm going to do, and I'll probably fall over doing it, I'm going to sort of pan around so anybody seeing this clip can get a general sort of view what the territory is like. And as I do it, I'm going to walk up towards the left. So if the 2 of you, when I start panning around, turn around, and then I'll look at you from the opposite direction.
Okay.
So I'll just give a 360-degree view to show what it's like. It's the first time I actually came up to the summit of Pegwn Mawr, which is the Marilyn and the highest summit on this range, was in 1988, and there was no wind farm here, and it was quite a wild moorland hill. And of course now you have access tracks, wind turbines, and all the paraphernalia that goes with it. You can see the access track now on the screen, and you can also see 1 or 2 little flags, and we've left those in. We're going to collect those up soon. So again, there's the Leica 530 GPS, and here we've got John and Graham again. Well, that was very clever of me, wasn't it?
Very impressive, that, really.
Yeah, I'll probably fall in the bog now. I can feel something under my foot that doesn't.
Tickling your legs. So,
gents,
anything else just for now to say?
Yeah, there's a snow shower coming in from the Arabs.
you just need to take it home and
Process
get a dongle, and sometime in the future, in 2 or 3 months' time, and we'll know the answer.
And of course we processed quite a bit of data, didn't we, last week? So
yeah, and back about 5 hills, I think it was.
Yeah.
Some other data. So it's going to be 2 or 3 months before we get round to doing this.
yeah. Well, it's great to be out with the 2 of you again, and this is another hill, certainly for the Dewey class of hills, that needed looking at. And let's see in another 2 or 3 months whether it makes the grade or not.
Yeah.
And be quite an event if it does. First new Dewey for a number of years. So many thanks again. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Manning.
The reason for surveying Glanfeinion Hill was to see whether it qualified for the Dewey listing of hills. Now, the OS bulk height was between 500 metres and 510 metres on the map, and on the OS map they spotted the summit at 535 metres. Now, as you have seen on the video, we GPS the summit and bulk, post-process the data, and the accurate bulk height is 506.52 metres, and the summit height came out at 534.88 metres. Therefore, the prominence of this hill comes to 28.36 metres, and that confirms that this hill should not enter the Dewey listing of hills.